What's up, guys? Welcome into Good Morning Lambeau. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. You can find me on Twitter at Packers_access. You can email us PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us 865-658-5824. I'm joined alongside Tim live in Green Bay. We got Emilio in Tennessee. Paul Robertson in the chat says Clayton must be late because he's doing his hair like Mel Kiper. We need that drop of who was it that was making fun of him? Was it Caliendo or whoever? He's going, Todd. We got to get that, bro. We got to have it. So I absolutely love the draft characters that have been created over the last, 4 or 5 decades, it seems like. If you guys haven't seen it, there's an NFL film special, and it's around a specific draft. It might have been like 92 or 93, but it's where Mel Kiper got into it with the GM of the Colts live on the air, and it is hilarious, bro. I mean, it's you guys have got to see it. If you just Google it, if you Google Mel Kiper NFL films, I guarantee you it'll be one of the top searches. But it's absolutely awesome. So, just want to say, give a shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got a full house already. We got Eric Sutherland in here, Paul Robertson, Nick McSwain, Boz in the house, Chewy, Mark. We've got Donovan Schilling. Who else we got in here? Jake K in the house. What's up, Jake? Drew D in here. Randy Cleavers. Bunch of people. Mano in the house. I like it. Mano said, Clayton late for breaking news. Nah, doubt it. Yeah, you've never seen me breaking news. I promise you that, my man. Sam in the house. What's up, Sam? Good to see you, buddy. Steven Smith, Morning Posse. Love it. All right, and Deadfish, of course. He said, who's Mel Kiper? Mel Kiper has, what did he say? Mel Kiper has as much draft credentials as my mailman. And he went on this big rant. It was freaking hilarious. You guys got to watch it, man. Look at Jacob sliding in here. What's up, Jacob? How you doing, man? We were just waiting on you.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live, man. It's never good when Jacob says, are we live? You might hear gunshots in the background. All right. So here's the plan. As long as this dog doesn't aggravate the absolute crap out of me, we're going to do 3 mock drafts. All right. Some people are going, oh, God, I can't handle this. I understand, because some people do mock drafts and it takes an hour and 20 minutes to get through one mock draft. That's not going to be what this is. The whole purpose of this mock draft we're about to do is we're going to do a mock draft database mock draft. We're going to do a PFF mock draft and a Pro Football Network mock draft. We're taking 3 different databases with 3 different big boards, right? And we're going to go through and see how many of these needs we can fill for the Packers that make sense with treating the top 5 available picks as if our draft board lined up with that. There's none of my draft board information in here, none of my personal opinion. The goal isn't to go, I really like this guy, let's take him. That's not the goal. The goal is to see with 3 different databases, how does this thing shake out? And we're going to come away going, okay, we weren't able to fill this need, this need, this need, and this need, which would give us a good indication that we might want to look for that in free agency. Does that make sense? So that's going to be kind of how we build the floor of this thing. Does anybody got any questions? Anybody got any comments before we get this thing cranked up?
I do. I just want to shoot a little Packers history nugget in before we get started this morning.
Let's hear it, big dog.
Cup of Diesel salute to the 96 Packers. Today's the 27th anniversary of the victory over the New England Patriots. I got my fun Packers history calendar here. So on this day in 1997, Brett Favre passed for touchdowns to Andre Rison and Antonio Freeman in the Packers' 35-21 win over the Patriots in the Super Bowl 1996 season. So salute. big PTA Diesel salute to the Packers. And I'll add my own little note in there. Desmond Howard, obviously, with the huge touchdown return. So for all the people who remember, that was a fun game to watch. And if you don't remember, if you're not old enough to remember, I envy you because I'm old and remember that game.
I won't say anything, Tim.
Emilio, that's right. You're a baby. I forgot.
Hey, I like the idea of you pulling from that calendar, though, this offseason, Tim.
Absolutely.
Kind of throw some nuggets in there. I think that's good. All right, here we go. Let's start with the first one. Y'all ready?
Let's
just confirm that you could see it. I'm going to zoom in pretty far here. Eric Sutherland says, you doing trades? Let's make this a 4-hour show. There you go. We may accept a trade or two if there's a good one in there, because we're not going to propose any trades, but we'll be getting offered trades. I'm sure that's how most of these databases.
Yeah. Eric, we got to go to work at some point.
Yeah, come on. Well, you do. We don't. All right. Let's make sure that you guys can see this okay. I'm going to go full screen. That way it'll give you kind of the best shot. I know the names are a little bit let's see, they're a little bit blurry on the right. Let me see if I can fix that. Do I got the right one? I don't even have the right one pulled up. Look at me already dropping the ball. Y'all thought this thing was going to go smooth, didn't you? You don't watch the show, do you?
First time.
All right. See if that's better. Is that better?
Hit that like while we're waiting on Clayton.
Boom. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to start with the mock draft database site. All right, so let's get this thing cranking. We got the 25th pick, the 41st pick, the 58th pick, the 88th pick, the 91st, 126, 167, 203, 215, 242, and 250. That sounds good, don't it, Jacob? All over this, man.
Like that.
Yeah, got 5 in the top 100. All right, so here are the needs. 2 starting safeties, 2 backup safeties, 2 starting corners, 2 backup corners, 1 starting offensive lineman, 2 backup offensive linemen, 1 starting inside linebacker, 1 backup inside linebacker, and 1 backup tight end. Again, we came up with these needs by going through and doing the eval. Some of you guys are going there. We don't need 4 corners, Clayton. According to the way these players graded out, we do. All right. So I'm not suggesting that's what the Packers would do. And again, this isn't to try to predict what they're going to do. I'm looking at it like, how can we flip this roster as quick as possible and turn these weaknesses into strengths, right? Now, we're going to keep in mind that we are going to have these things labeled. Go ahead. Somebody going to say something? No? Okay. No. We're going to keep in mind that we're going to have these positions labeled by tier of importance, right? Tier 1 being left tackle, obviously. When you say offensive line, I would much rather them grab a franchise left tackle, right, and bolster that tackle room and then slide some guys around to fill in that right guard. To me, that would be the better scenario than just drafting an interior offensive line in the first round, right? So now if one falls to us later, absolutely take them. Like I said, we need actually 3 offensive linemen in that regard. So I'm going to mark these real quick. So we got our tier 2. So we got 1 tier 2 position or tier 1 position at left tackle. And then we got 2 tier 2 positions at safety and linebacker. Let's get this thing rolling here. I've got it set to fast too, so it should go quick. Here we go.
Whoa, that thing is cooking.
Oh, yeah, it'll cook. It'll go real quick. Probably going to make it faster, to be honest with you. All right, so we're on the clock. We've got 4 trade offers. All right, let's just glance over them right here. These are all just saying, hey, you want to trade back to 2025. That's a haul of picks, but we're not interested in that. That would defeat the whole purpose. We could pick up the 32 pick and a 4th rounder plus a 5th and a 7th next year. I don't like that one. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are saying, hey, we'll give you can trade back one spot and pick up a 4th rounder this year. I like that.
Yeah.
So let's do that one. Are y'all good with that? Let's trade back 1 spot.
Yes.
All right. Let's pick it up. All right, here we go. We got some more trade offers. Again, a 2nd and a 3rd. Not interested. Here's the 30. What's that? I feel like somebody's talking, unless I'm echoing.
No, I think it echoed once, but
okay,
good.
Gotcha. Here they're offering a 1st and a 4th. Not interested. I'm looking for that really, really good value.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, not there. No, not happening. All right, cool. Now let's get this thing cranking. I don't want it to turn into a trade monster here. All right, so let's go ahead and make our pick here. So with the 26th pick, who are the best on the board? Let's go down and look at it here. You got Dallas Turner, edge defender, right, from Alabama. You have got wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. You've got Graham Barton, interior offensive lineman from Duke. You've got Bo Nix, quarterback from Oregon. And the suggested pick is cornerback Kamari Lassiter from Georgia, okay, or Kamari Lassiter from Georgia. So with those edge, we know, guys, Goody loves his edges, right? Mm-hmm. And that is a tier 1 position of importance. Let's go around the horn. Tell me of these top 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to this suggested cornerback. Which would you rather take? And the majority wins. Let's go around the horn, Tim. Which one would you want to take there?
I'm taking edge, best available. Dallas Turner.
And they're showing like that would be like a top 10 prospect according to their database. All right. Emilio, what about you?
I think I'm gonna have to go the corner.
Corner, okay. Jacob, you?
Honestly, if I really had to make the pick, I'd probably go with Dallas Turner. But that Kamari Lassiter, I just pulled up an article right before I jumped on here, and it said that he's a boundary quarterback who proved to be a very capable tackler in college. For his final 2 seasons, he allowed just 47 completions on 94 targets, and he held receivers to only 11.1 yards per catch. So, anyways, that it would be sounding like a kind of a decent pick for the Packers if you want to go close to that cornerback room, but I gotta go with the edge guy at that, like the top.
All right. So we got 2 edge, 2 corner. Of course, it comes down to me, right? And I got to be real with you guys. I was gonna go with Graham Barton. We're tied here, right? And obviously, we did not need an edge, right? It's not even on the need list here. So seeing that it's not on the need list, right? And we're trying to determine, all right, can we fill these positions, with the draft? How deep is it at certain positions? I'm going to go corner here, Tim. All right. We're going to go corner here. Is that cool?
A majority rules, man.
Yeah. We said yes. So we had, let's do it. Let's go corner. Let's do it. Here we go. Cornerback. All right. Look at that. Got an A+. How about it? All right. So we crossed that need off the list. All right. We don't want to get too crazy with these trades. They're offering a 3rd and 6. I'm going to say no. 46 trade back 5 spots to pick up a 3rd. Yeah, let's do no more trades, okay? We got our 1 trade. Let's do that. Let's set a 1 trade limit while we're doing this. Is that cool with you guys?
Like it.
That works.
All right, so up next, it's 41st pick. The top picks are Cameron Kitchens, safety from Miami, Xavier Worthy, wide receiver from Texas, edge defender Chris Braswell from Alabama, safety Tyler Nubin. You guys know that's my guy right there. Wide receiver Xavier Leggett. And then, of course, you got defensive lineman Chris Jenkins from Michigan. So, of those 5 right there, let's say the top 5. You can include the 6th if you want to. What are we going with here, guys? Let's go around the horn. Tim, you first.
We'll take your guy, Tyler Nubin.
Okay. So you see how I use politics there to kind of get my opinion out there real quick? Go ahead. You guys know where I'm going with this pick for sure. Emilio, who would you take, man?
Majority's going to take it, so I might as well hop on with Tyler. Either that or the Miami safety. I mean, we need either safety, so you pick.
Yeah, he withdrew from the race quick, didn't he? What would you want to do, Jake?
I'd go Kitchens just because he sounds like he can play all over the place. Safety, he was in the box and he was in the slot quite a bit. So,
this is where I want to pull up my draft board and show you why I would want to go with the other. And I said I wasn't going to do this, but I just want to point this out, Jacob. Check this out real quick, because I was the same way. I was drafting Kitchens in all of my mock drafts, right? If you go down through this list here, look for the blue because safeties are tier 2, right? Notice how they are. Let's see. I think I've got it. Yeah. Notice how they're nowhere to be seen on here, right? On this list here, right? Neither of those guys are in whatever it is, the top 47. So to me, it wouldn't even be worthy of that pick. But a little later, I was going to go with Nubin because Nubin is like significantly higher, bro. It's crazy. The big thing about Nubin is his PFF grades the last couple of years have been really solid. Kitchens is like, I don't understand other than the versatility why people were so big on him. But you said Kitchens, right?
No. Let's kind of pepper in a little bit of like your board. It'd be kind of fun to save these and see what happens at the end of the year, wouldn't it?
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll go with Tyler Nubin. Now, if we treated this as if the whole purpose here is to see how deep are they at these positions, right? And the fact that there's 2 safeties here, we're still kind of getting the answer, right? I think we would all agree. Whether Goody thinks Kitchens is the guy or he thinks Nubin is the guy, you got two solid shots at safety here. It makes you feel a little bit better about not being too aggressive in free agency with safety, right? So let's go Nubin there. All right, we got an A for that one too. So we're A+A so far. All right, here we are at the next pick. Let's just go ahead and decline all those. Let me mark that off too. So we got us a safety.
Oh boy!
Oh,
So
yeah. Here,
y'all seeing number 2 and number 3 on this list?
looky here.
All right, so we've got wide receiver from South Carolina, Xavier Leggett. You've got interior offensive lineman Jackson Powers Johnson, everybody's draft crush. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., one of my draft crushes. Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker from Texas A&M. By the way, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is a linebacker from Clemson. Running back Blake Corum. Some people think he's the best, hands down, the best running back in this draft. And then tight end Jatavian Sanders. Let's go around the horn. Tim, this is a tough one for me, guys. I ain't even going to BS. This is really tough. Who are you taking here, Tim? I'm putting you on the spot.
You know me. I'm defense all day, baby. Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Got it. All right. What about you, Emilio?
Same.
Same, really?
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Jacob?
God, I hate to be that guy, but I think I want to go Jackson Powers Johnson.
And I'm going to explain to you guys why. Look at my board. Number 13.
Oof.
Like, he is a stud, right? I mean, he is an absolute stud. You got to go down a little bit to find Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
He's not that
We're going to take another center in the second round.
What's that? Hey, heck.
I'm kidding. I was just messing with Josh.
With the one we got. Like, here's the thing with Powers Johnson, he's an interior offensive lineman too. That fixes right guard, and he knows he needs to be a center, right? So who did we go with? Who was the majority there? It was Trotter, wasn't it? Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Well, yeah. Right? What was
you're the
pick?
deciding?
It was.
I'm good with either, to be honest with you. So to prevent a tie, I'm going to go Jeremiah Trotter Jr. too.
Sounds good.
You know what I mean? So,
man, we are defense heavy. They are not going to be happy with this draft.
Good. So maybe
I'm getting straight A's so far, so I'm good.
If the public doesn't like it, that means we're doing something right. That's how good you look at it, right?
I like a goody draft. Yeah.
All right, here we are. Next pick. We're at pick 88. Interior offensive lineman Zach Frazier from West Virginia. That kind of worked out, didn't it? Johnny Wilson, wide receiver from Florida State. Sounds like somebody who works, picking up trash back home in Kentucky. Yo, Johnny Wilson, he came by. We gave him a candy bar. He picked up the trash this morning. Malachi Corley, wide receiver from Western Kentucky. You got DJ James, cornerback from Auburn. You got defensive line Mason Smith from LSU. So those are your top 5 around the horn. Tim, what are you thinking?
Zach Frazier.
All right. Emilio?
I'll take a shot on Zach.
All right. Jacob?
I would say either that or take, that Cedric Von Pran, played for a little bit of a bigger school. Same, you still get a kind of a draft steal, but yeah, I'm cool with Frazier.
Gotcha. So probably okay with that pick too, but let's assume, right, that this is how our draft board laid, and we had a higher draft grade on Zach Frazier than Cedric Van Pran, right? So, all right, let's do it. So we're going interior offensive line. We got A+ on that one, boys. Good job, y'all.
4.0, baby. Let's go.
And I'm pretty sure those grades are just simply,
value.
They're simply
they're there to make us feel good.
Yeah.
That and great job, guys. You know what you're talking about, because that's how we feel. That doesn't mean they're right.
Right.
It doesn't mean anybody's right. Yeah. So, all right. Next pick 91. We got Johnny Wilson, wide receiver from Florida State. He's dropping like a rock. We got Malachi Corley, wide receiver from Western Kentucky. He's dropping a bit too. These two receivers are dropping. They must have got caught with the giggle bush on campus or something. I don't know. Cornerback DJ James from Auburn. Then we got defensive lineman Mason Smith from LSU. And then interior offensive lineman Cedric Von Pran from Georgia, the one you were talking about. So there's a good situation, Jacob, where we took 3 picks earlier, right? And your guy's still there, right? So let's go around the horn. What are we thinking here, fellas? So far, by the way, you consider draft picks. Never mind, So I'm crossing them off as we go. But go ahead, Tim. What are you thinking?
I'm torn between DJ James and Mason Smith.
Same.
I'm gonna go with Mason Smith out of LSU.
Okay, Mason Smith out of LSU. Got it. All right. Where are you going?
Or is that Masan? There's 2 A's. Masan Smith. Is that how you say that?
I'm so tired of trying to figure this stuff out. Yes, I'm just being real. Go ahead, Emilio.
I think I was going to go with Van Pran. And if we're going to go back-to-back picks like that, let's just hammer the O-line right now.
Okay. So you're going Van Pran. He's going Masan Smith. Who are you going with, Jacob? You're going to be the tiebreaker here, dude. I'm going to try to stay out of it as much as I can.
I actually agree with Emilio. I was going to go with Cedric as well. Just like hammer that. It seems like a Packer thing to do. Just eliminate that need for the
3 picks apart. They're going to be buddies.
Yeah. It seems like a Packer thing to do. Just draft them if they're from Georgia, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go Von Pran there then. Is that right?
Yep.
All right, here we go. All right,
and our first B.
Thanks. Great job, guys. You dropped the ball. Let's see. All right, up next. With the 125th pick, we got safety Jaden Hicks, cornerback Max Melton, interior offensive lineman Dominique Puny. You've got safety Cole Bishop and safety James Williams. So you're seeing a cluster of safeties right here. That's kind of interesting, right? So who are we going with, Tim?
Man, I'm Yeah, corner or safety. I'm gonna take Max Melton out of Rutgers.
Is that Bo Melton's
Is
brother?
that Bo's brother?
Oh, that is Bo's brother. I'm pretty sure it is.
Bull, are you serious?
I could have swore I
was a
saw someone
Rutgers
writing
guy.
in the chat the other day that we
Emilio,
should.
don't you come in here making
I'm not. Someone said it in the chat.
Bo Melton went to Rutgers too. So
Yeah, grab Max. He's part of the team. Grab him.
All right, that's pretty much it. Jacob, I guess it doesn't matter, does it, buddy?
I mean, I was gonna. I didn't realize that he was Bo's brother. So that I just otherwise Marshawn Nealon would be cool. That edge, you didn't see him.
Sorry, Marshawn. You're not family, man. You gotta go.
Hold the
All right, so we're going Max Melton, correct, guys?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
B
All right,
plus.
It's a great back for him, man.
Oh,
All right, up next.
back-to-back.
Notice how those safeties still there, right? Pretty
Well,
cool.
we were back to back, 125, 126. That's the one
Oh,
we
whoa,
traded.
my bad. Okay. So Jaden Hicks, safety, interior offensive lineman Dominique Puny. You got safety Cole Bishop, and you got safety James Williams, along with edge defender Marshawn Nealon. What are we doing here, fellas? Let's go around. Tim, sorry.
Let's go with Jacob's pick now, since he's still there. Marshawn Nealon.
Okay. Emilio.
Yeah, I like that. If not, it would have been the safety from Washington.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna take an edge here. All right, we're gonna bolster that edge room. All right. Ooh,
A plus. There we go.
Jacob, run the victory lap, my man.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
All right.
I really like this draft.
You said you don't like it?
No,
I really like it.
he's going to take
you really-
screenshots and save it, put it
Oh,
on the
gotcha.
wall.
I think I'll be able to too. I'll just make sure I don't close that tab out. But all right, let's see here. Now we're at pick 167. We got our first Golden Domer as the best prospect available. I don't know how to say his name though, to be honest with you. Try it, Jacob. How you say that?
Morris Lifeau.
Lifeau. All right, got it. Linebacker from Notre Dame. We got an edge defender, Austin Booker from Kansas. We got a punter, Torrey Taylor. Torrey Taylor sounded like a country singer. All right. We got an offensive tackle, Javon Foster. This is that's one of the guys that's popped up that I've noticed some people are kind of high on. He's an offensive tackle from Missouri. And then Malik Washington, wide receiver from Virginia. Tim, which way you going here, buddy?
Give me Javon Foster out of Missouri. I'll take the Missouri offensive tackle for sure.
Ooh, all right. All
I'll
right. What
second
about
that.
you, Emilio?
I'll second that.
All right, Jacob.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's just bolster that offensive line.
All right, cool. I'm going to let Jacob go first from here on out if I don't forget in the next 5 minutes. You hearing these dogs back here?
What's that, dude?
They're on the couch. Etta has Lincoln pinned down, and they're both.
They're both
Anyway.
fighting over which pick we should take.
Hey,
Hey, we got another A.
Boom. Good stuff. All right. So, surprise, right? Their suggested pick gave us an A+. All right. That's pretty cool. All right. So, up next, just so you guys know where we're at on our need fields, okay? We said we needed 4 safeties. We're at 2. We said if we need 4 corners, we're at 2. Offensive line, we said we needed 3. We've got all 3. We're good there. Linebacker, we said we needed 2. We took 1. We still need 1 tight end, and we need 2 defensive linemen. So we've completely neglected the defensive line. I don't want to hear anybody complaining about the run defense next year.
Yeah, we snagged an edge.
Right, but that's different. Edge is different from defensive line. So, all right. Up next, this pick is 203. All right, top prospects available: Layden Robinson, interior offensive lineman; safety Malik Mustafa, tight end Theo Johnson from Penn State. You got linebacker Traven Wallace from Kentucky, and you got wide receiver Luke McCaffrey from Rice. What are we doing here, fellas? I like how all 5 of them are suggestions too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Jacob, you go first, Jacob.
I think I do. Boy, that McCaffrey. That's Luke McCaffrey is that's another Rice guy. So that means he's related to the other McCaffrey. So that might be an intriguing one too. But I think I might go Malik Mustafa.
All right, you go Malik Mustafa at safety. What about you, Tim?
I think
Tim's muted.
I was kind of torn between Malik Mustafa or Trevin Wallace. I'll go with Malik
Okay.
Mustafa out of Wake Forest.
Who is yours going to be there, Emilio? I know it don't matter, but who is yours?
Mine was going to be Theo. We'll give a shot at the tight end, but I'll take Malik
Okay.
because the name is elite. If we're going to have another, nice name at safety, Mustafa's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
I'm all about it, man. I'm all about it.
they're asking you to scroll down on our pick side so we can see the.
Gotcha. These dogs, bro.
They're going off.
Me mute here and holler. All right, let's see if that helps. It probably won't, to be honest with you. All right. So up next, we got safety Kenny Logan. I'm about to say Kenny Loggins. Wasn't that a singer? Kenny Logan Jr., safety out of Kansas. We've got Emily, I think is how you say it, Bailey, or Amani Bailey, running back out of TCU. You've got edge defender Brennan Jackson out of Washington State, offensive tackle Julian Pearl out of Illinois, and then cornerback Marcellus Dow out of South Carolina. Who we taking here? Let's start with you again, Jacob.
Boy, I think I might want to take a poke at that Bailey from TCU. I don't quite know what type of runner he is. But
so you're going Bailey, is that right?
So yeah.
Okay. What about you guys? Let's go to Emilio next.
I'll go Bailey. I like that. I'll give him a shot.
All right. And Tim, it doesn't really matter, but who would you have taken?
Yeah, I would go O-line again, Julian Pearl out of Illinois.
Gotcha. So you're gonna go. So we're gonna go with Bailey, but Tim said you knuckleheads, it should have been Pearl. All right, got it.
Tim says
here's the thing: the reason we don't have running back on our list. Okay, we got a bad echo there. The reason we don't have running back on our list of needs is simply because you got Emmanuel Wilson is probably going to be coming back. You've got Patrick Taylor still as well. And then, of course, we know there's a chance A.J. Dillon tests the market and comes back, but we don't technically need one. It'll probably be kind of a practice squad guy, although I would like to see them take one early, to be honest with you, like in the first 3 rounds and have kind of Aaron Jones's replacement as he gets a little older. I think that would be cool, especially on a rookie contract, maybe in the 3rd or 4th round, something like that. So I'd be okay with it. All right, moving on to pick number 242. It keeps scrolling up. I apologize. I wish there was something I could do about that. But you got defensive lineman Marcus Harris out of Auburn. You got interior offensive lineman Andrew Ram out of Oklahoma. You've got edge defender Braden McGregor out of Michigan. Xavier Thomas, an edge defender out of Clemson. You got cornerback Sheridan Jones out of Clemson. Who you taking here, Tim?
I'm going with Marcus Harris. Get D-line for sure.
Same. Harris, please.
Okay. So did you say same, Emilio?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Jacob, you good with that?
I'm good with it. I probably went with the edge, but whatever.
Okay. You love your edge defenders, don't you?
He does.
Stack them up.
It's important, man. It's so important, dude. All right, so we'll go with Marcus Harris. All right, and then we got one more pick at 250. Okay. You got
there's your edge, Jacob.
Yeah, he's still there. He's the top prospect available now, right? You got Xavier Thomas, edge out of Clemson. You got cornerback Sheridan Jones out of Clemson. You got Jalen Green, edge out of James Madison. Cornerback DeAndre Prince out of Mississippi. You got safety Evan Williams out of Oregon. Jacob, I'm sure you're going Xavier Thomas. Is that right?
I mean,
now he changes his mind. Look at that.
Makes sense, but Sheridan Jones right below him. It'd be nice to round out our corners too. But
yeah, we've taken 2 and we said we needed 4. So
right, that's what I'm saying. I'm honestly, I think I might change to Jones at this point.
There you go.
Okay, like it.
I like that. We'll grab Jones.
Cool. Tim, you good with that?
Yeah, yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, so there you have it. I'm going to save that and see if it will. I don't know exactly how that works. I'm just going to keep that tab pulled up so we'll have it. All right, so let's move.
What's our grade? What's our grade?
What's our grade? What are you talking about?
Doesn't it usually give you a grade?
I don't think this one does.
Oh,
yeah, you could just kind of save the entire draft, the results, all that good stuff. So
we'll give ourselves an A- for that.
I would say at least.
Yeah, there's one thing that you'll find out that irks the absolute crap out of me. Draft time are these sites giving grades. I'm just like these GMs. They really bombed this one. It's like, you knucklehead. You haven't been in one draft war room your entire adult life, and you're gonna pretend like they screwed up. That's just wild to me. Absolutely wild. I guess that's what they get paid for, though, right? All right, let's move on to PFF. You guys know how it works this time. We're gonna go rapid fire. All right, let's get the data in here. Let's do this quick. If anybody has to hop off, just say you got to run, and it's totally cool. All right, so here is PFF's setup. All right. So can you guys see it okay? Is it zoomed in enough? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yep.
A little more. Let me take a little more. I think we can.
Middle's the youngest one. He can't see, old man.
I just don't have a big.
Hey, that's better.
Thanks.
This will make it a little interesting because I'm zoomed in so far that we can only fit so much on the screen, But
Perfect.
all right,
4 picks.
perfect. Makes it hard on Clayton. That's what we want. Here we go. Let's start the draft. Bang, 25th. Let's do no trades this time. Are you guys good with that? See how far it's zoomed in? It's going to be hard.
Oh, then yeah, you can zoom out one. That's fine.
Pretty sure if I zoomed out, it would help. Yeah.
There you go.
Because you can see those things.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you're good.
Cool. All right, so top picks, tackle Amarius Mims out of Georgia. You got wide receiver Troy Franklin out of Oregon, cornerback Rakestraw Jr. out of Missouri, tackle Jordan Morgan out of Arizona, and then quarterback Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington. Who you taking, Tim?
And it's Rakestraw out of Missouri, the corner.
Right. Oh, you going corner? Okay. All right. What about you, Emilio?
I'll take Mims.
You'll take Mims. What about you, Jacob?
Dang, I was gonna go Jordan Morgan.
Oh, good. Then I get to pick, right?
There you go.
I'll take the wide receiver. No, I'm just joking. Out of those, honestly, I would have to go with the tier 1 position of importance with Amarius Mims. Assuming that, hey, look, this is how our draft board really lays out, right? I would go with the best available at that position. So I would probably go Amarius Mims here. If he wasn't available, I can totally see taking a corner there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go with the tackle. All right, so PFF, boom, got our tackle. All right, cool. Up next, we're now at pick 41. We got quarterback Michael Penix Jr. This is exactly what I was talking about. Like when you looked at my draft board, right, and this was an early rendition of it, where was Penix Jr.? He's the 17th best prospect. That would basically say, all right, he's worthy of the 3rd tier of talent in this draft. And if someone like that's sitting there at one of these picks, I'm just telling you, don't be surprised if they pull the trigger on it. Anyway, Michael Penix Jr., quarterback. You got Keon Coleman, wide receiver from Florida State, cornerback TJ Tampa from Iowa State. You got tackle Kyron. Yeah.
You got your board up still, Clayton.
You get your board up.
Oh, do I really? All right, there we go. Is that better? You bunch of complainers. God,
Yeah.
So unbelievable. So cornerback TJ Tampa, you got Kyron at I don't even know how to say it. At Omega Daje. Is that how you would say that?
That's pretty good.
Hey, all right, not bad. I'm sure it's wrong. Tackle out of Yale. And you got safety Kalen Bullock out of USC. And let's throw one more. Wide receiver Jermaine Burton out of Bama. Emilio, who you going with right here, man?
I'll take TJ.
TJ Tampa out of Iowa State. All right. What about you, Tim?
Yeah, I'm with Emilio.
All right, Jacob, you good with that, or who else would you have taken?
I really do like Keon Coleman, but I TJ Tampa more need, obviously.
All right, cool. So we're going corner there. Got it. All right, up next, pick 57. Look at this. Center, Jackson Powers Johnson.
Take him, and let's move on.
Yeah, just grab him.
Does anybody disagree with that?
Nope, grab him.
Jacob, you good with it?
That's cool. Yep.
That's cool. All right, there you go. We got us another offensive lineman. I like that pick, man. I really like that pick, especially there that late. Linebacker, Luiofo, I think is how you say it, from Notre Dame. You got wide receiver Roman Wilson. You got safety Tyke Smith. You've got wide receiver Jamari Thrash and halfback Blake Corum. What are we doing here? Jacob, start with you.
Tyke Smith.
Yep.
All right.
Tyke.
All right, you guys like it? Tim?
I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna go with the kid from Notre Dame. Take the linebacker.
That probably would have been my pick too, but to prevent us from tying, let's take the safety.
Oh,
Can't go wrong with that Georgia defense. We'll take it.
Hey, there you go. Look
Look there, still there.
Oh, well, there we go. We got our next pick figured out.
Yeah, does anybody disagree we should take the linebacker at Notre Dame?
Take
All right, here we go. Bang, got him. So we got one of our linebackers there. Good stuff. All right, pick 125. Defensive line Tyler Davis.
Oh boy.
Halfback Jalen Wright from Tennessee. You got halfback Braylon Allen. Oh my God, people are going to lose their mind. He's from Wisconsin. Tackle Satoa Lamay, I think is how you say it. Tackle from Utah, and then you got safety Malik Mustafa out of Wake Forest. Emilio, you go first.
That's a tough one. I guess I'm going to take the tackle from Utah.
All right, Jacob.
Boy. I think I don't know. I think tackle from Utah sounds good.
All right, I would go defensive line Tyler Davis.
Yep, me too. So we're tied.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna
right,
veto here. He's higher on the board, guys. I don't know what y'all are looking at here. This is the best prospect on the board. Okay?
I just, we can't have another Tyler Davis on the team. I'm kidding.
Oh, we'll probably still just have the one.
Hey, we're following precedent, bro. This is what Goody does. If you ain't got multiple people with
And
the
it's
exact
Clemson.
same
That's true.
name on the roster, there you go. All right, we're going defensive line. I vetoed there. All right, sorry guys, the way it is. All right, quarterback Jordan Travis, tight end AJ Barner, halfback Tyrone Tracy, tackle Jalen Sundell out of North Dakota State, and then you got Max Melton, cornerback out of Rutgers. You've seen that name pop up several times, ain't you? And then again, this is pick 135. Emilio, you go. Or I'm sorry, Tim, you go first this time, buddy.
I want to say Max Melton again, but I got a feeling he might still be around. I'm thinking of the tackle out of North Dakota State there, Jalen Sundell.
Okay. What about you, Jacob?
I think I want to go Max, but I think, like you said, take a stab and see if he can make it. Let's go Jalen Sundell.
All right. Are you okay with that, Emilio?
Yeah, that's fine.
You sure about that?
All right. Just so you guys know, we've got our 3 offensive line.
Oh, no. We didn't get Melton. Damn it. Sorry.
So we've got our 3 offensive line. As it sits right now, that's the only position I would say, okay, we don't need any more offensive linemen. All right. Let's see here. Pick 203 is, hey, y'all, would y'all hush over there, please? Goodness gracious.
They're pissed that we didn't get Bo's brother.
Yeah.
Well, here you get a chance for Tua Tagovailoa's brother. All right. Quarterback out of Maryland. You got safety Jalen Green out of Mississippi State. You got Willie Roberts. Sounds like a baseball player from the 80s. Cornerback from Louisiana Tech. You got quarterback Sam Hartman from Notre Dame. You got linebacker Darius Masoa, however you say it, from UCLA. What are you doing here, Emilio?
I'll take the safety.
Safety.
Yeah.
Jacob?
Mr. Green.
Tim, somebody talk to
Yeah,
me.
I'm taking the safety. I'm with Emilio again.
Right, well, Jalen Green. Jacob, doesn't matter, does it? Who would you have taken, though?
I would have taken the safety. Yeah.
All right, cool. That gives us 2 of the 4 we need at safety. All right. We may just get through 2 mock drafts. That's cool with you guys. We'll kind of look over the info here. But up next, pick 217. We got Darius, the linebacker from UCLA, is still there. You got center Andrew Rame from Oklahoma. You got safety Kenny Logan Jr. from Kansas. You got guard Layden Robinson from Texas A&M. And you got halfback Isaiah Davis from South Dakota State. Let's start with Jacob this time. What are you doing, Bob?
Well, considering we have 2 picks in the next 3, I guess I'd probably go first with that. I'd go with I'd go safety.
Safety. Kenny Logan Jr.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. What about you, Emilio?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, Tim, you good with it?
Yeah, I wanted the center, but we'll take it.
He'll be here in 2 picks, Tim.
But keep in mind, though, we've already got 3 offensive linemen. So, again, I'm not opposed to it, but just to let you guys know, we have already drafted the 3 offensive line. Who are you going to cut off the roster, right? That's the question. Well, it may be Sean Ryan. I don't know. You want to part ways with a 3rd-round pick? You know what I'm saying? It could be one of the other guys, like if we do bring back Caleb, which we're kind of anticipating, right? It could be him as he gets cut. So, could be an improvement, but again, he's placed center. It doesn't say interior offensive line either. It says center. I don't know if maybe they don't specify on PFF, but we're going safety, right? Kenny Logan Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, cool. That's 3 of the 4 safeties we said we needed this offseason. Pick 219, we've got the linebacker out of UCLA, Darius Masoe. You got center Andrew Rame, so he's still there, Tim. You got guard Layden Robinson from Texas A&M, halfback Isaiah Davis from South Dakota State, and linebacker Jordan McGee out of Temple. What are we doing here? Let's start with Tim this time.
I'm taking the center. I like the idea that we have someone that's just a center. I feel like we've got some flexibility on our O-line with Zach Tom and Big E already. So give me a guy that can play center exclusively.
All right. Jacob, what are you thinking?
I'll go with that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma's good.
All right, so we're going to take an extra offensive lineman there. Got it. So we're going Andrew Rame, correct?
Yes.
All right, boom. All right. Up next, pick 246. You got center Kingsley Gaku, I think is how you say it, out of Florida. You've got tight end Brant Kuthi. out of Utah. You got quarterback Keaton Slovis out of BYU. You got J.C. Davis, tackle out of New Mexico, and cornerback Daquan Hardy out of Penn State. Let's start with Emilio this time.
I will take Hardy.
All right, you going Hardy? You going cornerback Hardy? All right. Jacob?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
All right, Tim, you good with it?
Yeah, I wanted the tackle out of New Mexico, but let's go corner.
Tim is like, can we get a whole new offensive line?
Tim loves these trenches, dude.
I want,
It's important.
want a freaking wall out there, a movable wall, man.
All right, so we've now taken 2 of 4 corners. So that mock draft is done. I'm going to try to download the image here. We'll keep it pulled up, though, so we can kind of revisit it. Let's step out of the war room for a second, talk about this, all right? Where are we at? Time. We're at 40 minutes. We can do it, can't we?
Yeah, we went through that one.
All right, cool. Let me stop that screen. This next one's a little wonky. It's going to be hard for me to make it fit in the screen, that type of stuff. We'll see if we can pull it off, though. It's going to be – this one's from Pro Football Network. Tell me what you guys think here. Let's see if we can make this work. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit if I can and get you guys a little bit better image here. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, that pulls everything in close. Can you guys see tell me when you can see the prospects?
No, that's perfect.
You can see them.
Yeah, okay, it looks good.
All right, we're going to go ahead and start the draft. This one will go pretty quick, I believe. Again, we're not doing any trades, right? Reject.
Unless we get a good one.
Yeah, well, we ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. As someone famously said. All right, yeah, this is kind of weird. Okay, there we go. Pick 25. Top picks, defensive tackle Jerzan Newton out of Illinois. You got wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU. You got offensive tackle Amarius Mims out of Georgia. You got Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver out of Texas, and offensive guard Troy Fontana, I think is how you say it, out of Washington. I'm going to make this pick. I'm going to at least tell you my pick first this time. For me right here, I'm going Jerzan Newton, man.
Yeah.
Amen, brother. Amen.
I think he's a stud. Jacob, how do you feel about that pick with the 25th pick there, man? Would you be okay with taking a defensive lineman?
I would be running that up to the podium so fast.
All right. I figured you guys would. To me, that seems like a really good pick. So, all right, you got your defensive lineman right off the bat there.
Get out of here, Cleveland.
Yeah.
We're a trash organization. We are not interested in anything you have to say. All right? So, see, I don't like how this doesn't update. This is going to be a pain in the rear.
No, scroll up. Where are you going?
What's going on here?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong side, wasn't I? Yeah. You just slide the other side down here.
Clayton's like, all right, we're picking.
Yeah.
We're going to reach a little.
Of course, it would fall this way. Pick 41, Leonard Taylor, defensive tackle out of Miami, is the best prospect of it. If we knew he was going to be sitting there, we probably would have went a different route, right? But here we sit, though. Defensive tackle Leonard Taylor. You got wide receiver Xavier Legette. You got Xavier Worthy, wide receiver out of Texas. Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. And then wide receiver Troy Franklin out of Oregon. Let's start with Emilio this time. Who are you taking here?
We can still go interior D-line. We'll take Taylor.
Dang, we double dipping. I like it. What do you think, Tim? How you feel about that?
My gut was Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma, but Emilio's right? You know, best available. Let's go Leonard Taylor.
Hey, your chances of hitting on one of those two is pretty darn good, right? And we've been complaining about the defensive line all year as far as the run defense.
Yep.
What do you think, Jacob? You good with that, man?
I'm good with it. Honestly, I like Jordan Morgan better than all these guys, but yeah.
Jordan Morgan. Oh, really? Offensive. Oh, really? Okay.
Ooh,
it doesn't matter what you like.
It doesn't matter.
What do you think? This is a democracy? Here we go. All right. So we took we took another defensive lineman, didn't we? Look at it. This is the first time this has happened. That's pretty cool, man. We're slowing down. Pick 58. We got offensive guard Cedric Von Prawn. We got edge Brandon Dorless. You got Jatavian Sanders, tight end out of Texas. Chris Braswell, edge out of Bama, and then Rook Ahora.
Sure.
Don't bleep me here. All right. That's a defensive tackle out of Clemson. Let's start with you, Jacob. Who you want here, buddy?
Von Prawn for sure.
Von Prawn. All right. Tim?
Yep, Von Prawn.
Yep.
Tim said, I ain't going to say no to no offensive lineman. Bang. There you go. All right, let's move on down. We're now at pick 88. You got linebacker Cedric Gray. You got defensive tackle Mason Smith, Mason Smith, however you say it, Tyrone Hopper, linebacker out of Missouri, edge defender, Adija Isaac out of Penn State, and then you've got cornerback Javen Bullard out of Georgia. Let's start with Tim this time. Tim, which way you going here, buddy?
Cedric Gray out of North Carolina.
All right, going linebacker, North Carolina. Come on, raise up. Go ahead, Emilio.
I was going to grab Javon.
You were going to go Javon Bullard. Okay. Jacob, you're going to be the tiebreaker, man. Who you wanting here?
Oh, boy, I was going to go Hopper.
All right. So we have one going line. I'm going to go with the best available. So someone did pick Gray, right? Who was it that picked Gray?
That was me. I picked Gray.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Gray, too. So let's do that. I'll be the tiebreaker there. So we're going linebacker there at Gray. Some people are going, I don't think he fits our scheme. That's not
okay.
The purpose.
Now we get Bullard.
We don't even know what our scheme is yet.
That's what cracks me up. We don't even know what we're doing yet.
Our scheme. You mean Joe Barry's scheme? Come on now.
Absolutely hilarious, man. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Pick 91. You've got defensive tackle out of LSU, Mason Smith. You've got linebacker Tyrone Hopper. You've got edge Adija Isaac, and you've got cornerback Javen Bullard and safety James Williams. Let's start with Emilio this time. Who you pick?
Bullard, please.
Going Bullard. All right. Bullard. Jacob, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, talk about we could have had a lot of value at D tackle if we would have been patient. But
and it's a good note, right? Like it really is. Like, and this is the first time it's happened though, right? So this is one separate database that didn't happen on the other two. So It's cool to see kind of all angles. Go ahead.
Yeah. I still like Hopper, but it's kind of moot now, and we don't really need. I don't like that edge as much. I'd go Bullard, make Emilio happy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Who do you want?
Sign me up. Give me another dog out of Georgia. We'll take him.
All right, we're going corner there. All right, so we got one of our four corners we need. All right, pick 126. You got tight end Jaheim Bell. You got linebacker Junior Colson out of Michigan. Jaheim Bell's out of Florida State, by the way. You got linebacker Junior Colson out of Michigan. You got defensive tackle Braden Fisk out of Florida State. You got wide receiver Ricky Pearsall out of Florida, and then wide receiver Jacob Cowing out of Arizona. Let's start with Jacob this time.
Definitely go Jaheim Bell. I see certain databases have him as the fourth best tight end in the draft. So
nice. Tim, what do you think, buddy?
I'm going Junior Colson.
Junior Colson. All right, you're going to be the tiebreaker, Emilio. Who you got?
I like the defense, but man, if I think I trust Jacob on this one, we'll go with Bell. We'll grab our third. We'll be able to go into 13 all the time.
I like it. I like the strategic.
Here we go.
So we got our tight end. So your tight end room will look like Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, Jaheim Bell, Ben Sims, and you'll probably have Tyler Davis, him or Ben Sims hopping on and off the practice squad all year if you went that route. So that's kind of cool.
Jaheim Bell's 6'3", ran a 4.540, by the way.
Ooh, all right, I like it. Okay. Well, pick 167. We got defensive tackle Keith Randolph Jr. out of Illinois. You got running back Blake Watson out of Memphis. Wide receiver Taj Washington out of USC. Linebacker Tyrese Knight out of UTEP. And linebacker Traven Wallace out of Kentucky. I don't know who we started with last. Let's let who's up? Do we know who's up? Would it be Tim or Jacob?
Tim.
Go ahead, Tim. Fire away, brother.
Give me the kid out of Memphis, Blake Watson.
Yeah.
We're going running back. All right. I like it. Everybody's good with that?
Yeah. Any running back out of Memphis is a dog.
Oh, you know he is. All right. So you get your running back out of Memphis. Again, we didn't technically list it as a need, but we know it kind of is a need. It's just you don't need it to fill out the roster. And it wasn't like we didn't look up and go, dang, guys, we need a running back. Aaron Jones finished as strong as anybody, right? But imagine if he steps into that number 2 row, A.J. Dillon walks, and now you have him as the number 2 back and Emmanuel Wilson as your number 3. That's pretty solid. Pick 203, quarterback Sam Hartman out of Notre Dame, quarterback Joe Milton out of Tennessee, running back George Halani out of Boise State, safety Bud Clark. Sounds like somebody who's in my dad's biker gang out of TCU. And then you've got Corey Crooms, wide receiver out of Minnesota. Let's start with Emilio.
Grab Bud.
Going with Bud Clark. Jacob?
Bud Clark.
Bud Clark sound like somebody in the new Roadhouse movie. No, that's a Bud Clark over there. Tim, what do you think? You okay with it, Bud?
Long as he ain't a Bud Light, I'll take a Bud Clark.
Nice.
Tim, what is wrong with you, Tim? All right, got us another safety. Slide down here. Yeah. We're 123% Caucasian in this podcast. There's no doubt about it.
I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, I know where Jacob is.
Jacob, no one else matters. Who you taking here, big dog?
I'm going with that Cox from Kentucky.
That's what she said.
We're going with the Eli Cox. He's going to be from Kentucky, interior offensive lineman. I ain't even going to ask you guys. I don't think it's worth the headache here. So slide on down. Pick 242. You got edge Rondell Bothroyd from Oklahoma. You've got Isaac Rex, tight end from BYU. Edge Gabriel Murphy from UCLA. Offensive, it says center, I guess is what it is. Interior offensive lineman. Kingsley Iguacan. And then you've got tight end CJ Deepray. I think it's how you said it, Dipper. What are we doing here? Who's going first? Who picked that last one? Oh, it was Jacob. Let's go Emilio this time. Emilio, who are you taking here, bro?
I'll take the edge. We'll give him a shot. Rondell.
All right. Jacob, Tim?
I'm going between.
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm between Rondell from Oklahoma and Gabriel Murphy.
Okay.
Trust my gut. I'm going to take the guy from Oklahoma, Rondell Bothroyd.
All right. Bothroyd it is. So got us another edge defender, boy. This is such a goody draft right here, man. Just keep loading up with edges. All right. Pick 250. You got interior offensive lineman Kingsley Iguacan is still there. You got CJ Deepray, tight end out of Bama. You've got Jordan Straken, edge defender out of South Carolina. You got Dylan Laube, I think is how you say, Labe maybe, running back out of New Hampshire. Linebacker Nathaniel Watson out of Mississippi State. What are we thinking here? Let's go with you this time, Tim.
Should we take Watson and get another Watson on the team? As
Sure.
long as we're trying to, no. This is tough. I want to say Kingsley out of Florida.
Okay.
O-line.
What are we thinking, fellas? Jacob, Tim? Or I'm sorry, Jacob and Emilio?
I kind of agree with Tim. I would hope that one of those guys could kick out to guard if needed. We could try to do that.
Got it. Mm-hmm. You good with Emilio?
Yeah, that works.
He's so excited about it. So we have taken our 3 offensive line. All 3 drafts, you guys notice, that was probably the first spot that I go, all right, guys, we got everything we needed there.
Yeah.
Remember that? So that, to me, really tells the story of we came in here wondering, all right, what's heavy, what's light as far as, specific positions in the draft, right? You come away with kind of the understanding of offensive line shouldn't be a problem to get, should it? I mean, it didn't feel like it. I feel like there was plenty of opportunities to get an offensive lineman in that draft. What else stood out to you guys in that mock draft? Did anything you go, man, that really popped to me?
The last one was the only time we really got D-line.
Hey, that's a good point. Let's see. So if we go through our needs and what we didn't fulfill, all right, across the board, we still need 2 backup safeties, right? You need 2 backup cornerbacks. This was the whole purpose of doing this. Linebacker, you still need a backup linebacker, all right? Tight end, you still needed a backup tight end. And then defensive line, you needed a backup defensive line. Is kind of how that set with the first one. With PFF, you still need 1 more safety. You need 2 corners. You need 1 linebacker, 1 tight end, and 1 defensive lineman. And I'll tally all these up here in a second. We'll go around the horn. Pro Football Network, you need 2 backup safeties. You still need 4 corners. So with Pro Football Network, we didn't get a single corner, not one. Linebacker, you still need a backup linebacker. So,
and corner was one of those spots we didn't really particularly like. Free agent market, right? That didn't look so hot. Not really interested in Stephon Gilmore and
we didn't have a single corner that we liked him in free agency. Yep. To be honest with you, and if you were to look at it, like there was 2 different scenarios where we still need 2 safeties, so it kind of makes you think maybe you go after a safety in free agency, right? When you kind of look at it from that angle. Yeah, Jacob, what do you think about that? Do you come away after we did that 3 mock draft, that 3 draft saturation, or do you come away saying, you know what? Here's probably the way this draft stacks up. Did you come away thinking there's a strength here, there's a weakness there as far as the draft overall?
To be completely honest, I haven't done enough research to really know who my guys are, and especially getting into those later rounds, I'm kind of just drafting when I look at the position, and you get led by the rankings they give you. But I think we should do this like once a week at least, and just kind of get ourselves familiar with the. I swear, Eric, get ourselves familiar with with the prospects, and that way I wouldn't feel it's bad reaching quote unquote and going against what the projections are for whatever site you're looking at, because that guy that edge that we ended up taking, the Oklahoma guy over when Tim did, that was projected as the 8th overall best edge at NFLBuzz.com, and we got him like whatever round that was. So it's interesting. Right. I like NFLBuzz.com, by the way. If you're looking for prospects, they have a really cool way of charting a lot of their metrics and stuff. But,
good stuff. So you didn't come away from that exercise saying, okay, I think the draft is strong here, weak there.
I mean, it seems a little weak in some of the running back for sure. A lot of those guys other than Jordan Brooks, I think is one of the first ranked guys, but
he's the one who tore his ACL, if I remember correctly.
Right. So that alone, yeah, it seems kind of heavy on wide receivers when we don't need them, but maybe that's when we need them. Every time I want to take a wide receiver, I'm like, I think we need Max Melton for sure, though. That's right. Freddie says it best.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Tim? Did you come away with anything going, hey, strong, it's weak here?
No, not really. I mean, I kind of agree with Jacob's sentiment here. It's tough when you see all these receivers on the board and you think about this room we have, and you want to remember, Uncle Ted Thompson's old strategy, right? If you don't need one, take one. But no, I feel good about where we're at.
Got it. What about you, Emilio? Anything stick out to you?
Yeah, just I mean, like Jacob said in the last draft there, we if we were patient, we'd have a chance at some D-line, and we kind of jumped on those first 2. So it's just kind of planning out in the future. I like the idea of maybe hitting this a couple more times, before, and we can kind of see where it all lands. The only other thing is we also had a decent shot at O-line, later on in the draft. There was always a 1 or 2 to grab in each of those 5. So I'm thinking that's a little bit deeper, but maybe we need to take a peek at why we didn't pick up a safety or corner early, and that could be a dead spot maybe.
Got it. Makes sense. Let's see. So defensive line, I'm trying to tally these up real quick. That would be 0.6. You guys see I'm trying to buy time here, right? Tight end. What's that?
No, I was just kind of Drew was talking about Blake Corum, and then he was also giving us crap because on that last draft we took basically 3 centers, but
right.
I would definitely not do that again. But I think a lot of those guys could kick to guard or some other spots. A lot of them that we did draft, I looked them up, and they can play different positions. But in Corum's 5'8", that's my only beef with him. I don't want a 5'8" running back. That's real small.
I got you, man. I got you. So when we kind of break it all down here, here's what we come out of the draft still needing. All right. And I did it. Obviously, we did 3 different platforms. You average that out. 1.6 at safety, 2.6 at corner, 0.6 at linebacker. Let's see, 0.3 at tight end, 0.6 at defensive line. So just to kind of give you an idea, according to that three mock draft saturation there, right? We would probably need to be more aggressive at corner in free agency and safety in free agency. Now, like Tim pointed out, or Emilio, whoever it was, we didn't find corners in free agency that we liked, right? Now, are you wanting to move forward with Valentine as your outside defenders, with Jair there as well, obviously, and, sign Keyshawn to be your nickel? You're basically saying we're going to march the same secondary back out there. Is that the route we want to take? If not, we might have to be a little bit aggressive in the draft with taking a corner. Seeing that, I mean, there was one Pro Football Network. There wasn't one scenario where we were like, oh, this is a slam dunk. We can take this corner here. So right. I'm going to keep in mind. Essentially what it came down to was mock draft database. We still needed 2 corners. PFF, we still needed 1 corner. And then, we needed 2 corners. PFF, we needed 2 corners. And then Pro Football Network, we needed 4 corners if we're going to fill those needs we talked about. So, yeah, Mano bitches Stokes. Guys, you never hear me talk about Stokes, and there's a reason for that. I don't know what else would need to take place for us to say, okay, he's not the guy. Like, I know he's been hurt, but he was grading out in the 50s before he got hurt. And everyone chalked it up to, well, the whole defense was playing bad. It wasn't just Stowe. Okay, I got you. So we're giving him a pass for that. He comes out this year. He's hurt again. He gets healthy, quote unquote healthy, right? Comes back and plays however many special teams plays, gets hurt again, comes back, grades out in the 50s again. Like, if we're waiting, I'm not suggesting you're saying this, Mano, but if we're waiting around, like, okay, he's a solid corner. I just don't see it with Stokes, man. I don't. I got an autographed helmet over there about him. I was excited. He's an SEC guy, quick as lightning, had all the measurables you want. I just haven't seen it, man. I haven't seen it. And let's see here. He says, Mano, I'm not confident in him, but you left him out without comment. Yeah. The reason being is because I don't know if he's going to get back on the dang field, man. Like, I mean, at some point we got to – it's kind of like Justin Harrell. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember that. I know you know Justin Harrell defense. You remember that? It was like this dude, everybody threw a fit over him drafting him, and it was just like he could never get healthy.
That was it D tackle from Tennessee or something?
Yeah. The most important attributes of a player, the most important ability is availability and accountability, right? I think when you talk accountability, is he going to be a team player? That comes into factor. I think that's Stokes. Stokes seems like as good a guy on the roster. But also with accountability is, are they going to play up to that first round level? I haven't seen it. That's a part of accountability too. Availability, right? I mean, I don't think you could give him a lower grade than what he actually deserves. I don't know, man. It's tough. Again, I don't like to harp. I love it, Eric. I don't like to harp on people being hurt, and that's not the whole point of even saying that. It's just it's tough for me to get excited about a guy and go, "Yep, oh yeah, but we have him," and keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Right? We all know the old cliche. It's the definition of insanity, expecting a different result. Eric Sutherland said Justin Harrell, the Jamarcus Russell of defensive tackles. I'm sure he was a great guy, but that didn't pan out. Mano said, Sherrod. That's who I meant. That's another good example. Didn't they take him in the first round, guys? Offensive lineman had a nasty knee injury or whatever, and just never recovered. So, anyway, there you go. That was fun. I enjoyed it. Like you said, Jake, we can do it again. I try to make it so that we've given enough information to people on the pod that they're not just sitting there going, Clayton, we can't see the screen. So hopefully we come away with a little bit of understanding, a better understanding that I think it's going to be difficult to fill your cornerback needs in the draft. Mm-hmm. We do have a somewhat full room, but they all graded out like poopy with the exception of Jair Alexander. So, and again, that's not just the one who gives me a little bit of hope, to be honest with you, is Ballantyne. Mm-hmm. And I believe he's an unrestricted free agent, if I remember correctly. Let me double check that real quick. It seems like we talked about that, Tim. Ballantyne, where's he at on this list? Let me drop that comment down real quick. Because he wasn't on that list. And when I looked him up, I'm pretty sure he is set to be a free agent. So there's a couple of people that it was kind of like, actually, maybe if we drop the banner down, let me do this real quick. That might be where he's at. No, he's not. Okay. Pretty sure he's set to be a free agent. We'll double check that. But Ballantyne's passer rating when targeted actually ended up being pretty good. It was one of the best, one of the best in the on the team from a cornerback standpoint. Jair's was pretty bad. Now, PFF thought pretty highly of Jair. And if you remove the run defense grades from the corners, which I think it's important that a corner can play run defense, right? I mean, you see it with Branch. And I know he's a nickel, but still, he's just one of those guys that he's got a knack for reading the run. There's nothing more frustrating than seeing someone run an outside stretch play and your corner's dropping back. It's like, what are we doing? That's the whole reason we're playing zone here. So, we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. Let's go around the horn once. Anything else you guys want to add? Emilio, go, Tim. What you got?
That's all I got.
All right, there you go. The cornerback room's fine, Clayton. Stop talking about it.
We're gonna have to pay close attention to the secondary. These next couple months here, and figure out where we're gonna go, because it's whoever steps in at DC, we're gonna have to fix whatever shell we have back there right now and strengthen it. So,
yeah, makes sense. So, Jacob, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, I think after really looking at what we did in this draft, we were kind of looking at positional value over what the team needs were. And I think that we should have maybe focused more on the secondary. I think we keep Ballantyne. Hopefully one of the two has a second-year jump. Jair's Jair. We have Nixon, and then you draft two guys at least in the corners, and then maybe one in the safety, and hope that they battle it out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be secondary and interior line, offense and defensive side heavy, and I think that's just 3 or 4 apiece, probably.
I agree.
All right, good deal. Just kind of going through it again. I'm going to get these numbers together so we can reevaluate when free agency opens. We'll look up and go, all right, when we did this exercise, here are the positions where we really struggled to get what we needed, and we might be a little more aggressive and dive in and try to find some of those gems that are going to be pennies on the dollars in free agency, right? Mm-hmm. That's the goal. So the other thing too is when you try to come away and go, okay, they're deep in that spot at the draft. I feel like safety is fairly deep though. I really do. Like there was never any point in that draft where I'm like, man, we haven't seen any safeties. It seemed like they were everywhere, right? Yep. So if that's the case, this goes hand in hand with what we talked about, Tim. Last offseason, we talked about safety in the tight end market, right? We said if the draft is heavy at a position, then it'll make people overpay. It means the market's going to be hot in free agency, or it'll be cold in free agency. If there's not that many in the draft, then it'll mean the market's hot. Seeing that we had no problem getting safeties, that may drive the market down as far as the safeties go, and we could get one of those two guys that we liked in Geno Stone or Alohi Gilman. Alohi Gilman he looks better to me, but I'm pretty much talking myself out of Darnell Savage. It doesn't matter what I think. Goody's liable to give him a 3-year deal, but enough's enough, dude. Let's see if we can upgrade that position once and for all, right? So,
amen. You sure Goody didn't tell him?
I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
I don't know, dude. I think they're going to bring that guy. When I heard Wayne Larrabee the other day when they asked him about him, he went, probably. When they asked him if they'd bring him back, I was like, oh, no. Wayne has heard something in the building. So,
y'all see Drew D's comment?
Well, go ahead. Highlight it there, fellas, for me.
I don't have the ability.
Yeah, we're at a max capacity right now.
Said, whoa, Joe Barry interviewing with Eagles and Bears.
Not for DC. There's no way. It can't be a DC job. Didn't we just see I thought Fangio is probably going to be the DC in Philly. So is that what they're doing? Is Joe going to go over there with Fangio?
Joe Barry gets another DC job.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I heard. Do you guys hear anything about Fangio going to the Eagles? I thought that was like.
Yeah, for sure.
Reported.
Yeah, so then he said Eagles would be a positional job. He said he's not sure on the Bears.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Still, okay. How funny would that be if he ends up with Vic?
Yeah, if somebody just swoops him up, like, hey, that's a good signing.
Here we go. Doug in the chat. Pop his up there. Schneidman reporting Staley interviewing with the Packers. Okay, so that makes sense based on what you said last night, Clayton, right?
Shut up, Tim. God almighty. We're going to – oh, goodness gracious.
Who do you think you are? I
am. We got Baltimore, San Fran, and Kansas City's defense is just a lot setting the world on fire.
Yep, Bates, there you go. I'm with it.
Eagles linebacker coach,
yeah. That would be Joe over there. Yep.
So that is confirmed, though, that Brandon Staley is interviewing with the Packers, right?
According to Schneidman, yeah.
So here's what we're going to do once the decision's made. There's going to be plenty of time to talk about everything, right? We've talked about that over and over and over. As soon as we hire a defensive coordinator, I'm going to start pulling tape.
I was going to say break down film.
Yeah. Then we'll do another mock.
We'll bring out the defensive highlights and find, a handful of plays from that team's defense this past year and go, okay, what made that go? What worked? We'll also dive into the analytics, that side of things. I know immediately people will go, well, you can't look at the Chargers because he was a head coach and it don't count. I say BS. If you're a true head coach, you've got your thumb on everything in that organization. You're the CEO of that organization. But we'll try to go back to where he was. Where was he DC at before he took the head coaching job? Was it the Rams or who was it?
Mm-hmm. It was the Rams.
Probably shouldn't look this up live on the air, but I'm going to try to find it real quick. Let me go Brandon Staley.
Drew D's wondering if there's a show tonight. Does Clayton, what's your thoughts on doing a show this evening?
Tonight, probably not going to happen because it's Friday night. We go out to dinner. So I got to protect that marriage, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. What did you have in mind? Mandy's watching this live in Chattanooga right now. She's going, it doesn't matter what he has in mind.
You guys going out for chili tonight?
I tried this one chili and it set my mouth on fire, and I had to drink a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
All right, we pulled up. I love it. Sounds right. We pulled up his entire coaching resume. Okay, so head coach of the Chargers the last 3 years. He was defensive coordinator for the Rams in 2020. So that was the year that trying to think. Okay, yeah. So he wasn't there when LaFleur was there. For the Broncos, he was the outside linebackers coach for the Broncos in 2019. He was the outside linebackers coach for the Bears in 2018 and 2017. So it went outside linebackers coach for 3 years. Got hired as a defensive coordinator for the Rams. I think that might have been the year they won the Super Bowl, if I remember correctly, right? 2020. And then he gets the head coaching job with the Chargers. So, maybe he will make a great defensive coordinator, right? It's just, to me, it's disappointing because, you are kind of saying, hey, listen, I know the founder of the Vic Fangio defense just lost his job too. Joe Barry, we just wanted to run him out of town for the last 2 years, and now we're going to hire someone who's running the same scheme. It's the NFL is so cyclical that maybe they have caught on to the Fangio scheme right now, right? I mean, I remember Greg Cosell talking about how the Chiefs picked it apart last year, right, when they won the Super Bowl. And everybody was going to Greg Cosell going, what did they do to figure it out? And he's like, they did nothing to figure it out. Cover 4 defense has been around since the beginning of time, okay? And the way you beat cover 4 defense is the dagger concept is the big beater. You're walking them out with the number 2 receiver. You're walking that safety out, creating space and hitting that underneath dig. That's all Kansas City did. They just added choice routes to Kelsey on the underneath dig where he could dig. If they were playing inside, he could pivot back out, or he could sit if they're kind of playing their normal spot drop. So there's ways of beating it. Obviously, it does kind of feel like the league has caught on to it. I still like it because you're playing bend but don't break. I know people hate hearing that, but that's to me, that's the positive of it. Now we'll break down. We'll get into the 33rd team tonight too. If they do make that hire with Brandon Staley, which I'm not saying they will, if they do, we'll go look at the Chargers' tendencies and see, all right, what exactly did they do last year? How much man did they play? How much zone did they play? Were they playing middle field open, middle field close, all those things? And we'll try to get some chalk talk put together real soon too. So that being said, anybody else got anything?
No, I just think Staley will be one of many interviews. So let's be patient. They're not, just because he's here for an interview doesn't mean that's the decision. So,
yeah, I agree with that, Tim. I don't, I would be surprised if they interview him and then go, yep, he's our guy. Right.
Yeah.
But
before the other teams are done.
Yeah. But Matt LaFleur likes his guys, and that would be considered one of his guys right there. So, yeah. I'm eager to go see what Twitter had to say about it, though, because they're probably losing their minds right now. So,
what do you mean they're not interviewing Al Harris?
Or Jim Leonard? By the way, did you guys see Andy Herman's bracket?
No.
So he did.
I did see that.
He did a coaching
DC bracket.
Yeah, he did a DC coaching bracket and had different seeds. Guess who won? Surprise, surprise, Jim Leonard.
Shocking.
It's wild, man. Wow. So anyway, we're out of here, guys. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun. Appreciate y'all being interactive in the chat. Sorry we couldn't be more involved with the chat, but you guys seen I kind of have my work cut out for me. I think we handled it pretty well. I think we did all right. So got us some info to go over. Again, to me, your top needs in free agency based off of what we weren't able to fill is cornerback, safety, linebacker, tight end, and defensive line. But it looks a lot easier to fill those after we did our 3 saturation mock drafts. So we're out of here. We will not see you tonight. If I can pull a stream off earlier, I'll let the guys know. We might be able to do that. Mandy's going. Not now.
Yeah, she's already driving back now. She's already.
He's like, nah, ain't happening, big dog. So if we can make it work, we'll make it work. But I'll let you guys know as soon as possible. But thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. For those of you listening on the pod, thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. And go Pack, go.